Hey guys, today I want to share a little bit about something that we make here at Curio that I think is kind of like a secret sauce shortcut that we use for our kids. Again, everything we make here at Curio kind of comes from our own experience. Homeschooling for kids, trying to make it cost effective, trying to make it efficient and fun, trying to make it simple and effective. All right. So these are three things that I think really help expand writing across different content areas. You don't have to have a specific writing curriculum. A lot of language arts curriculums are great for covering kind of those mechanics and grammar. But when we get into writing, there's really an art to it. It's a complex topic. As a classroom teacher, this was the subject that took the most effort from me and the most effort from my students to really do well. So that's something that I've really focused on as we've developed these writing activities and experiences is kind of what I want to call them. So I want to share three with you today. And as we're in Vlogmas, I'll start with a more wintry related one. One is called the Gingerbread Man's Adventure. All right. So as you can imagine, a gingerbread man is going on some sort of an adventure. But as you'll see with all of these, they all have some sort of matrix where the kid chooses a character, what is happening, something that goes wrong. Again, the problem, the conflict, a solution, some sort of a solution to that conflict, and then a setting or some people that they're around. So this varies across the different activities, but in this one in particular, you're maybe having your gingerbread man team up with somebody else, and they are going to try to change the type of frosting because he's allergic to royal frosting. He needs chocolate frosting or something crazy like that, right? So after they do all this kind of brainstorming, they just shade in the box, they're going to then have a lovely outline for what they're going to write. This takes away that mental load, that cognitive load of writing. Oh, what am I going to write about? That creative load is really tricky for some kids when they're going to go into the really big task of actually writing. So we want to help them with that, keep it fun, keep it creative. They are still being creative by putting these combinations together, but then they get to writing. Now, after the writing is done, there's a little checklist that they're going to go through to make sure that they worked on, they've used correct capitalization, spelling, they've checked for spelling errors, and they have the correct punctuation involved. So very simple, but just keeps their brains kind of coming back to, oh, did I do that? My own kids still do this. They'll check, and then they'll go, hey, actually, I'm not sure about this word. Can you check if I've spelled this word correctly? And then they'll do a little checkbox, which is great to see them really thinking about that. After that, there are 4 or 5 different activities that are suggested out of this. So recently we made gingerbread cookies, and we had some gingerbread men in there. And so we were able to kind of tie that into a story that one of my kids wrote. So you could do something as simple as that. You could also have them like build the setting out of Legos or create a playlist for your gingerbread man's adventure that they're going on, right? So getting into different interests that your kids might have, their strengths, things that they really want to spend some time doing, but maybe don't usually fit in the academic time. This is the time to say yes. This is the time to let them do that. So that's Gingerbread Man. Second one I want to get into is Jungle Trek. This one is great for upper elementary, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I would say even 6th. I have middle schoolers who do this, and their families come back to me and they say, my kid loves this, we're going to keep doing it. So I would say even up to 8, but I do want to really keep the writing focus on 2nd to 5th. So anyway, you could use this for a lot, but this particular one, as well as our desert and ocean writing activities, have to do with different oceans, or in this case, jungles across the globe. So we've got 4 different jungles for them to take a look at. Now, they're going to look at a lot of those names and say, I don't know that. What's the correct answer? Go look it up. Exactly. So go look it up, sit there with them, take a look at some different ones. If you have access to something like a Nearpod, you could type in the name of the jungle, and I bet you're going to get a VR experience that the kids could like turn around, look up, look down, look at their feet. I always tell them to look at their feet. I was just in there yesterday designing a lesson, and Vanuatu, right, which is an island in the Pacific, came up. And so it's just one of those things where it's really cool to see how much just a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of discovery really opens up the door for choice and deeper learning. So they're choosing their jungle, they're choosing an adventure, something that they're trying to solve in this case. Who is there with them? Is it one other person? Is it 5 other people? Do they have like a whole team there? And kind of a conclusion, something that they're looking forward to in terms of conservation. And so if you're working on biomes or conservation topics, this is a great one. Like I mentioned, the Desert Survival Plan is another one that's similar, and the Ocean Exploration, I believe, has another kind of geography conservation type twist to it. So those are really fun. The final one I want to talk about today is extreme weather. People love this when there is an extreme weather event and we need to talk about it. I think a lot of times we just sweep it under the rug and say, okay, that snow day, that hurricane day, that tornado, right? But a lot of times we're missing the opportunity to encourage understanding what is the weather event that's happening, and also a compassionate response. Both of those are included in this resource. We're always looking for the compassionate response to a flood, to a hurricane, to a tornado, to a horrific windstorm or something like that where power lines are brought down. So we're keeping it light, keeping it age appropriate, but also encouraging that compassionate response. Where can we look to try to help the people who are affected by this? Okay, so this is where cross-curricular secret sauce kind of comes in. I hope that you will enjoy these. They're all linked below, and they do come in 5 packs. So if you want to pick up a few, you can save quite a bit. Or if you just want to pick up the lot, you can save quite a bit over at thinkcurio.com. But it's something that our family has really loved, and I love that as a homeschooling mom. It's really quick and easy to print and tie into whatever we're working on there. Very fun. All right, you guys, happy Vlogmas. I will see ya in the next one.